Today we're going to be talking about communism and the history of communism. Communism all started during the Paris Commune, which caused the murder of several government officials and robbed a whole bunch of people of their property. Even then, it's still paraded as a historic communist society by its advocates. Karl Marx observed the Paris Commune and came up with the theory of how to do its work better. Karl Marx wanted a more dictatorial control over society, thus gave the birth of communism. Its ideas were implemented in the Russian Revolution of 1917 by Leon Trotsky and Lenin. The Bolshevik policy was to take all grain from everyone, so they would starve. This was a means of starving out counter-revolutionaries, but in the end, it caused the starvation of millions. Stalin continued this policy of starving Ukrainians. He was a notably racist. He was an extreme Russian extremist. He was an ultra-Russian nationalist, and ultimately hated all non-Russians. But then his Russian nationalism turned within the party, ended up murdering anybody and everybody who looked at them funny. You couldn't even sneeze in front of Stalin without him murdering you. You could cough in front of Stalin, as one historian notes, but it would only give you torture. Stalin worked a lot with Leon Trotsky in the early days, torturing and murdering anybody and everybody. But then what would happen is that Stalin realized that Trotsky was Jewish, that Trotsky wasn't his real name. His real name was Leon Ravarovich. Now this really plagued on one of Stalin's overt paranoias that the Jews were running the world. See, he actually agreed with Hitler. The difference between Stalin and Hitler was that Hitler believed that he was working against the Jews, and Stalin believed that he was the one who was working against the Jews, and Hitler was the one who was working against the Jews. Stalin said, quote, "Hitler would be a good man. Hitler would be an upright and honest man if only he was not working for the Jewish elite." Stalin and Trotsky were also serial rapists. It was noted a number of times that Stalin and Trotsky would have a go at the same woman. After Stalin died, Khrushchev took power, and he knew the only way to save the face of communism was to make it capitalism under a different guise. The economy did not grow in the Soviet Union until Khrushchev took over and implemented reforms into the market. Ever since then, it grew at a very slow pace. The economy of the Soviet Union had nearly nothing. You would have to stand in line for hours to get one piece of bread, and even then, the bread was likely to be moldy. Lots of people survived by eating their own children. There is a case of a man eating his own limbs, cutting off his limbs and eating it because he was denied food. However, what was plentiful was vodka. The state just focused on making lots and lots of vodka to pacify the minds of the workers, because only a drunk man would ever see the sense of communism. The workers were paid a wage, but it was only enough to buy copious amounts of vodka. They had no houses. There was a ton of homeless drunks on the street. There was massive unemployment. Nothing was booming except the vodka industry. After that went all tits up. Then came China with Mao Zedong. Mao Zedong was a rich peasant who underwent a coup to take state power from the rightfully elected government. He did this for his own benefit, not for the benefit of any peasant. He stole lots and lots of grain, causing the Great Harvest Famine, which is the worst famine in human history. It is said that Mao would go across the street and see these starving peasants and then stab them with pitchforks and say, "You want to eat that." It is said that he would laugh when he heard the numbers of those who died, and he would urinate on the streets as a drunken moron. Thus is what communism brings you. There was other communist societies such as the North Korea. America liberated Korea and established a government. However, Kim Il-sung came to power, lied to the peasants, and tried to overthrow this rightfully elected government. He established a military dictatorship in the north, sent guerrillas over to the south, and eventually invaded the south. And today, it still exists in the form of Northern Korea, in illegitimate Korea. It is said that over 10,000 Koreans die every day because Kim Jong-un wishes just to satisfy his evil urge. And that is what communism is. It is a mere evil urge. It is advocated by those who want to take power, who have a self-control aspect of their personality. This is why that we do not let communists take power. Communism always ends up in failure. If you like the video, be sure to leave a like, subscribe, and